Beloved child of light, you are standing at the edge of something sacred. The air feels different here. The world behind you fades like mist as you approach the unseen threshold of heaven's courtroom. No map can show this place, no compass can direct you here, because only the Spirit can enter where decisions are made in divine silence. God hides his greatest treasures in places no man dares search. And now you've been brought to this place not by chance, but by calling. If you feel warmth in your chest or peace rising in your spirit, like and subscribe and comment where you're watching from so the angels know you're listening. Now close your eyes, breathe deeply. Let the angels lead your soul into today's divine journey. In the quiet realm where eternity speaks, the gavel of heaven has already fallen. The courtroom is silent not because justice is absent, but because the final word has already been spoken. Your case is closed. The accusations have been silenced. The shadows that once whispered doubt in the corners of your mind have lost their breath. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone, not anymore. Heaven has seen the whole story. Every sleepless night, every battle behind closed doors, every seed of kindness planted in secret. God saw it all and he ruled in your favor. You weren't forgotten, chosen soul. You were being judged righteously by a judge who cannot be bribed, who cannot be swayed, and who cannot be hurried. And now, with finality, he speaks. The decision has been made. The waiting is over. What comes next is your miracle. Let that echo within you. You felt it, didn't you? Something ended recently, a shift you couldn't explain, an unspoken closure in your spirit. That was not coincidence. That was divine confirmation. A spiritual case years in the making has now been concluded. Every lie spoken against you, every delay that wore your soul thin, every dart thrown in the unseen. God brought it to trial and he ruled with mercy, justice, and favor. Heaven signed your release. But with every verdict comes an instruction. This is your spiritual wake-up call. You were never meant to stay in that house of discouragement. The door is already open. Step out. Can you feel the stillness? That's not emptiness, it's sacred pause. Heaven holds its breath not in hesitation, but in preparation. The next season of your life has already begun in the Spirit. It just needs your agreement. The light changes around you now, soft, golden, illuminating, not with heat, but with peace. It falls across your shoulders like a mantle. It is time. At 3:33 a.m., a sound no one else heard stirred the veil between the worlds. A knock, gentle but firm, on the door of your destiny. That was not a dream. That was a divine signal. Heaven has already whispered your name. You are being released not just from delay, but from false definitions. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not the words others have used to describe you. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are next. Now pause. Feel the wind shift almost imperceptibly. The atmosphere responds to agreement. So declare this in the comments right now. I received this divine judgment. My case is closed. My miracle is released. Say it in faith. Let heaven witness your agreement, because in this divine courtroom, your faith is the pen that signs the receipt of your release. And now the angels prepare your path. Heaven's listener. There is something about your name that stirs both realms. It's not just a collection of letters. It is a spiritual signature etched into the plans of eternity and feared by the kingdom of darkness. You may not feel like a warrior, but in the heavens you are a marked one. Not marked for destruction, marked for destiny. And the enemy knows it. You see, when heaven closes a case, earth often experiences a strange tension, a sudden resistance, a series of miscommunications, a shadow that tries to return after being cast out. It is because the enemy, having lost his grip, files an appeal. That's what you've been walking through lately. The odd disruptions, the back-to-back disappointments, the rising warfare just when you felt closest to your breakthrough. That is not coincidence, it's confirmation. Your blessing is already on the way and hell is panicking. Right now, a war is raging not over your past, but over your next. And this war is not being fought with swords or noise, but with whispers in the spirit, accusations, doubts, distractions. The enemy is throwing smoke into your atmosphere, trying to confuse what heaven has already clarified. But you must remember, this confusion is not a sign that you're off course. It's a sign that you're being fought because you're getting close. This is your spiritual wake-up call. You must stop agreeing with the fog. The enemy can't revoke what God has released, but he can trick you into walking away from it. He doesn't need to close the door, he just needs you to believe it's still locked. Right now, the battlefield is your agreement. Heaven is moving. Angels are aligning, and the enemy's only strategy left is deception. But heaven whispers, do not be deceived by the silence. I am not absent, I am advancing. Feel this moment, let it slow you down. The air grows thick now, like holy oil hanging in time. Breathe in deeply. God is not just watching this battle, he is leading it. Your name was spoken in heaven again last night, quietly. Not in front of crowds, but before the throne. That one, the Father said. The one who stayed faithful when no one else clapped. The one who gave when they had nothing left. The one who still believes. And then a new decree was issued, protect what I've already sealed. Angels were released not to bless you, but to defend what's already yours. Did you feel it in your body, that sudden tension behind your eyes, or the moment when your sleep felt disturbed without cause? Those were not random discomforts. Those were spiritual disruptions attempting to delay the delivery. But they are failing. Because here's the truth. The enemy doesn't want you to remember you're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from it. Let that truth be your shield today. Let it be the banner that flies above your house. You don't need to strive, beg, or plead anymore. You need to stand. And while the appeal may have been filed in the spirit, heaven has already denied it. At exactly 4:17 a.m., a sound passed through your room. It wasn't audible, but your spirit registered it. A release, a holy rustling, a closing of a door behind you in the unseen. That was the moment the appeal was rejected. Now the final assignment is in your hands. Your agreement is the key, so here is your instruction. Say this in the comments with clarity and conviction. I will not agree with confusion. The appeal is denied. My blessing is defended. Speak it aloud if you must. Write it down. Let the enemy know that you know. Let heaven hear your unwavering yes. Because your faith right now is the only response the courtroom of heaven is waiting for. Stand still. The battle is not yours, it never was. But your endurance is the sword in your hand. You've been chosen, beloved, and the war over your name ends in victory. Heaven's listener, the silence, that sacred, stretching, excruciating silence. You cried out, but the heavens didn't shake. You fasted, but the doors didn't open. You worshiped when it felt like no one was watching, including God. And somewhere in that stillness, a question crept in. Have I been forgotten? Let me tell you what the silence really was. An answer cloaked in mercy. It wasn't God's absence, it was his carefulness. It wasn't rejection, it was preparation. Beloved, when the Creator hides his hand, it is not because he has stopped shaping the clay, it's because he is refining the vessel in darkness where it's least likely to crack. This is your spiritual wake-up call. You must stop interpreting quiet seasons as disfavor. He was not ignoring you, he was growing you. Because what's about to be placed in your hands cannot survive the grip of an unhealed soul. What you mistook for punishment was really positioning. Do you remember the tears that made your pillow heavy? The nights when sleep avoided you, but thoughts didn't? God was watching, not in apathy, but with a sculptor's focus. Each unanswered prayer, a pause to protect. Each door that slammed, a redirect in disguise. Because here's the truth, a premature blessing is a disguised burden. There were blessings you begged for: jobs, relationships, platforms, opportunities. You thought their arrival would prove your faith. But what you didn't know is that if God had said yes, then it would have crushed you. You would have walked into the answer, but carried your trauma, your bitterness, your hunger for validation with you. The very thing you thought would set you free would have bound you tighter. So God waited, and the silence, though long, was never empty. It was filled with the soundless activity of a loving father preparing an eternal yes. Let the weight of that sink in. Right now, heaven is not silent because it's unsure. It's silent because it's sure. The construction is done. The angels are preparing the stage. Your spirit is being tuned to the key of heaven's next move. The silence is about to break, but not with noise. With release. Feel the shift around you. The air has changed. There's a gentleness in the room now, like a cool wind through unseen curtains. A scent faint but comforting, like lavender mixed with rain on stone. These are not poetic metaphors. They are prophetic signs of spiritual transition. What's next will not arrive with drama. It will unfold with peace. Because God is not trying to prove himself, he's showing you who he has always been. The silence is being broken by a whisper now. That word has been hanging in the air over your life for years. Waiting. Waiting for your surrender to align with his sovereignty. Waiting for your heart to loosen its grip on timelines. Waiting for your inner ear to listen, not just hear. You're hearing it now, aren't you? A divine hush is falling, not because nothing's happening, but because everything is. This is the turning point. Declare this truth with your whole spirit. Speak it in the comments like a sword unsheathed. The silence was not rejection, it was preparation. I am ready now. Say it with the boldness of someone who knows that heaven's timing is never rushed and never late. You are not behind. You are not missing it. You are in divine sync. Pause with me here. Let this be your moment of emotional quiet. Take a deep breath. Exhale the fear that tried to convince you God forgot. Inhale the peace that proves he never left. Every seed you planted in silence is breaking ground. The roots have held. The soil is ready, and now the harvest begins. And just like that, the silence will soon become your testimony, not a scar, but a seal. Because when the blessing comes, you'll know it didn't arrive too late. It arrived when you were finally whole enough to hold it. Says a chosen soul, there is a sacred pattern to the way heaven moves. Always has been. Before every resurrection, there is a burial. Before the promise, a wilderness. Before the crown, a cross. And so it is with you. You've been in what felt like a long, strange season, like you were caught in between stories. Not quite broken, not quite healed. Not where you were, but not yet where you're going. That liminal space was not random. It was a test, not to prove your worth, but to awaken your faith. Let this be your spiritual wake-up call. God is not testing your strength. He's testing your surrender. Because in the kingdom, elevation never begins with rising. It begins with falling on your face, whispering, "Even if you don't fix it yet, I still trust you." It's easy to believe when the tomb is empty. It's harder when the stone is still in place. The test doesn't ask if you know how to fight. It asks if you know how to be still. The test doesn't care how loudly you praise when things go right. It wants to know if you'll still worship when your hands are empty. This is the holy pressure. You weren't being punished. You were being qualified. Let's pause and acknowledge the weight of that. Feel your body right now, the tension in your chest, the heaviness in your limbs. That is the residue of spiritual training. You've been carrying a hidden curriculum in your soul. Every delay, every closed door, every confusing moment, it's all been the fire where God forges gold. Do you remember how Joseph was thrown in a pit before he touched the palace? How David hid in caves long before he wore the crown? How Jesus wept in Gethsemane, sweating blood before he ever touched the hill of resurrection? You are in good company. This pressure you're under, it's not meant to destroy you. It's proof you are carrying something holy. The reason it feels heavy is because the mantle is real. The reason some people left is because they couldn't walk where God is calling you. The reason the road narrowed is because your anointing just increased. Can you sense it? The atmosphere is thickening again like dew forming in early morning light. The light shifts to a soft amber glow as if heaven is leaning in closer. And here in the center of this pressure, something sacred is happening. You're being transformed. The waiting has built muscles you didn't know you had. The silence has sharpened your hearing. The pain has deepened your compassion. The lack has exposed your real treasure. And now your spirit is whispering a quiet, powerful yes. Say it. Speak it aloud. Write it into the earth, into your atmosphere, into your future. This test will not break me, it will birth me. Declare it in the comments as your covenant. I trust God more than I trust what I feel. I will pass this test. Because something shifts when you stop asking why me and start saying use me. You don't need to rush. You don't need to perform. All God needs is your agreement. Right now, the test is coming to its end. Not because everything is suddenly easy, but because you've decided. And that decision is louder than any delay, more powerful than any pain. Listen closely. Tests end the moment faith becomes louder than fear. Tests end when obedience overrides emotion. Tests end when you stop striving and start trusting. Your tomb season is closing. The resurrection is near. You've walked through fire. You've come out refined. And now the promise doesn't just belong to you, it fits you. You don't need to perform for heaven. Heaven already passed the verdict. And soon the stone will roll away. Heaven's listener. There are things buried deep inside you, promises, dreams. Prayers once whispered with trembling hope. Somewhere along the way, you stopped speaking them. Time wore them down. Silence made you forget. But heaven didn't. God has not forgotten a single word you prayed. He did not misplace your dreams or delete your declarations. He tucked them away not to hide them from you, but to hide them for you. This is not a season of starting over. This is the season of retrieving what was protected. Beloved, this is your spiritual wake-up call. You did not miss your moment. It was being preserved. You see, some promises are too sacred to be developed in public. God placed your next season in a secret vault guarded by time and silence because the enemy would have tried to sabotage it, and you would have tried to rush it. What you thought was lost is actually arriving on schedule. Do you feel that soft trembling under your feet? That's not emotion, it's movement. The soil of your life is stirring. Roots are breaking ground, and the dreams you buried are sprouting not as fragile shoots, but as sturdy trees born of divine timing. Pause now. Let this sink deep. You once prayed for something you felt unworthy of. You asked with trembling lips and a broken heart, and when no answer came, you assumed the silence was denial. But in heaven, a seal was placed on that request. Angels were assigned to it, and it was written on the scroll of your destiny. Then God waited. Not because he changed his mind, but because he was waiting for the version of you who could carry it. He was waiting for the wounds to heal without bitterness, the urgency to surrender to wisdom, the dependency on applause to die. Because the blessing that is coming is weighty. It's not cute, it's not temporary, it's generational. And it requires a soul that has been tested by fire, not flattered by comfort. There are things coming back to you now, opportunities you thought expired, relationships you gave up on, favor you felt unqualified for. But this time they're coming back wholly. This time they're not shiny temptations, they're divine assignments. Can you feel it? The atmosphere around your name is shifting. The veil that once covered the plan is being pulled back. Slowly, gently, but undeniably. You're seeing signs, random confirmations, people mentioning old dreams, divine coincidences that make your spirit pause. Those are not echoes, they're alignments. Heaven is returning what was always yours. And here's what most people don't realize. What God hid in silence, he now delivers in stillness. Not with a shout, not with fanfare, but with unmistakable peace. There is no rush. There is no chaos. The delivery is quiet, but the transformation will be loud. This is your instruction. Prepare your heart like you're expecting a letter from God. Not just a promise, but a package. And inside it, restoration, recompense, and revelation. At exactly 5:55 a.m., there was a subtle ringing in the spirit, a release bell. One of the oldest prayers in your life was marked delivered. You may not see it yet, but your soul already senses it. So now let your faith rise like incense. Speak this aloud or write it with reverence in the comments below. Heaven never forgot. What was hidden is returning. I received the promises refined and right on time. Say it again if you must. Let your soul believe it before your eyes see it. Because what's coming isn't just a blessing, it's a returning of the sacred. Don't fear the unfamiliar shape it may come in. It won't look like it once did, and that's the proof that it's matured. It will fit now, it will remain now, it will multiply now, because heaven has timed this moment to perfection, and you are walking into a garden of answers that grew in silence. Heaven's listener, there is something happening around you that your natural eyes cannot yet comprehend. A presence, a stillness, a shift in the very air of your home. At first it felt like restlessness, then like peace. And now it feels like protection. That's because the unseen has become active. You are encamped, not by fear, not by threats, but by angelic forces assigned to your name. Some have been walking with you since birth. Others were dispatched in recent weeks answering the emergency cry of your spirit. And now they stand like sentinels around your soul, waiting, watching, guarding. This is your spiritual wake-up call. You are not alone in this battle. You are surrounded by a holy army. Have you noticed strange things lately? Moments of peace in the middle of chaos. Sudden delays that later prove to be protection. An urge to pray at odd hours. The chill down your spine when no windows were open. That wasn't your imagination. That wasn't coincidence. That was movement, angelic movement. Psalm 91 echoes softly, now he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Right now, your home, yes, your physical space is being marked, not with oil, but with glory. The very walls are absorbing the frequency of heaven. The floor beneath you is becoming sacred ground. Old spirits are being evicted. Atmospheres are being shifted. Some of the warfare that's come against you recently wasn't because of your failure, it was because of your arrival. The enemy saw the angels moving in and he panicked. That sudden tension in your chest. The dreams that felt darker than usual. The strange irritability from nowhere. Those were responses to the angelic enforcement pressing into your territory. And here's the mystery, the stronger the protection, the quieter it often feels. You were expecting trumpets. God sent warriors instead. Let your heart settle now. The room you're in, whether bright or dim, silent or noisy, is now charged. Your faith has invited reinforcement. And the enemy, he's already been denied access. He saw the angel with the flaming sword at your door and backed away. That accident you avoided, that call that didn't come, that opportunity that passed you by. Angels intercepted what was never meant to touch you. Even now, there is an invisible perimeter being drawn over your home, over your mind, over your children, over your sleep, over your future. Breathe, inhale slowly. The scent is faint but new. The atmosphere holds a weight that isn't heavy, it's holy. This is not fiction, this is function. Angels are not ornaments of mythology. They are agents of heaven sent to execute divine orders. And their presence in your life right now is not casual, it is crucial. The blessing coming is too important to be interrupted. So God has increased the security around your destiny. Your job, agree with the atmosphere. Don't speak fear. Don't entertain doubt. Don't rehearse defeat. Speak what heaven is doing. Speak what your spirit already knows. Say this aloud. Write it boldly in the comments as a declaration over your dwelling. My home is covered. Angels surround me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Say it again if you need to. Whisper it in the hallway. Declare it before bed. Let the walls hear it. Let the enemy hear it. Because this isn't just poetic, it's prophetic. And when your voice aligns with what heaven has already sent, the atmosphere becomes unbreachable. Pause now. Feel the temperature shift not in degrees but in density. That's the glory settling. It doesn't shout, it abides. There is a quiet turning happening. What once felt like tension is now turning into a shield. What once sounded like chaos is now being drowned out by holy silence. Your story is no longer exposed, it is guarded. Your life is no longer unprotected, it is surrounded. Your future is no longer vulnerable, it is sealed. Heaven has deployed its forces, the enemy has retreated, the air has cleared. And now, beloved, you are safe. It's heaven's listener. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when God no longer whispers in private, he speaks through what the world can't ignore. That moment is here for you. A door is opening this week, not a metaphor, not a maybe. A divine door etched with your name in gold, signed by the hand of the one who watched you endure when no one else understood. You've been mocked, misunderstood, left out, counted out, laughed at behind closed doors while you silently held on to the promise that still hadn't come. And now, without revenge, without anger, without needing to explain a thing, God is about to vindicate you. This is your spiritual wake-up call. You do not need to defend yourself. Your blessing will speak for you. Feel the air grow weighty with glory. This isn't tension, it's announcement. A holy declaration has been released in the Spirit. Now they will see who I have chosen. The very ones who doubted you will witness your elevation. The ones who said they'll never recover will see you rise, not in pride, but in peace. Because your blessing is not just for comfort, it's for confirmation. A divine proof that God never left your side. He prepares a table before you in the presence of your enemies, not out of spite, but out of strategy. He doesn't want them punished. He wants them silent. You don't have to say a word. Your fruit will speak. Your peace will testify. Your breakthrough will answer questions you never got to explain. And when they ask, how did this happen? Your only reply will be, God remembered me. Right now, angels are laying the final stones of the path that leads to your open door. The hinges have been oiled with your obedience. The handle has been shaped by your prayers. The threshold has been sanctified by your tears. And now the latch is turning. Before this weekend, something unexpected will confirm this word. A message, a conversation, a reversal, a moment of divine alignment. And you will know this is it. The door, the one that was promised. It may not look how you imagined. God rarely delivers the way we predict. But when you walk through it, every cell in your body will echo, yes. This is where I was always meant to stand. So do not shrink now. Do not second guess. This is not the time for delay. Delayed obedience is still disobedience. This door will not stay open forever. It is timed. It is sacred. It is tailored. And it is heavy with the weight of heaven's will. Here's what to do now. Clean your spirit of fear. Guard your mind from opinions. Awaken your soul with readiness. Expect confirmation at any moment. And when the moment comes, walk through it. Don't wait for a second sign. Don't negotiate with insecurity. Don't ask for another prophecy. Just go. Because this door is not just about you. It's about the legacy behind you and the generations ahead. Your children will walk through doors you didn't get to. But this one is yours. Say this with the power of full belief. Write it in the comments below as your final unlocking key. The door is opening this week. I am ready. I will walk through it in full faith. Let your declaration shake the atmosphere. Let heaven mark your agreement. Let the lie of delay be crushed under your decision. You are stepping out of the shadows. You are walking into fulfillment. And not even the lies of hell can stop what God has now begun. The week will not end the way it started. The pressure is turning into passage. The tears are turning into testimony. And your steps are being ordered into promise, into favor, into freedom. The door is open, the blessing is waiting, and heaven is watching. Walk boldly, beloved. Now rest, Holy One. Let the breath settle in your chest and the rhythm of peace find your heartbeat once again. The weight of uncertainty is lifting. The noise has quieted. All that's left is presence, pure, sacred, unwavering. You do not need to rush anymore. The battle is no longer yours to carry. You've obeyed, you've endured, you've believed through the silence and the storm. Now surrender into stillness, for the angels have taken position. and the Lord has signed your release. Feel the warmth in your spirit that is not imagination. That is the afterglow of heaven brushing across your life. Feel the softness in your bones, the loosening of tension in your soul. The door is open. You are ready. And the light ahead is not distant, it is near, it is gentle, and it is holy. Close your eyes and let this moment be sealed in the sanctuary of your being. You are not behind. You are not late. You are aligned. The divine clock has struck its hour. And from this day forward, the delay is broken. The warfare is silenced. And the blessing begins. Breathe deeper now. Let the presence of peace flow through every chamber of your heart. Amen. The message of the angels will guide you.